is eutrophication? Eutrophication is the process in which an overabundance of nutrients is introduced to a marine environment. These nutrients include nitrates and phosphates, which are heavily present in fertilizers. The nutrients are healthy in small quantities, but when large amounts of them are added to a body of water, they promote algal blooms. The algal blooms crowd on the surface of the water and block sunlight from reaching plants below. Because they don't have access to sunlight, the plants below cannot photosynthesize and will die. This reduces the amount of oxygen introduced into the water. In time, eutrophication can lead to the formation of dead zones, which are areas in which oxygen content is so low the body of water can no longer support life.
I started coming to Barnegat Bay when I was 6 years old, and at the time I was always afraid to walk in the bay because the eelgrass was so thick that it hid the crabs and hid all sorts of things, and I was afraid to walk there. As I got older and began windsurfing, I would go out and would stop frequently because the skeg of my board would get all caught up with eelgrass. That doesn't happen anymore. We see people windsurfing, kiteboarding, all over the place out here. There just isn't the kind of eelgrass that there was.
So if we don't do anything with Barnegat Bay, if we don't stop putting nutrients in, what will happen is we'll continue to lose eelgrass. And eelgrass is already at its historic low in the estuary. And we're starting to see some decreases in some of the fisheries that really rely on eelgrass as a habitat, especially for their juvenile stages in their lives. So we're starting to see declines in fisheries, and it's not just commercial, it's also recreational. Our water quality is starting to decrease a little bit. So all those things are going to continue along until Barnegat Bay really just doesn't have any grass left.
One step you could take is to plant local vegetation. Local vegetation helps to filter runoff and get rid of some of the nutrients that lead to eutrophic conditions. Another step you could take is to reconsider when you spread fertilizer and what kind you use. Slow-release fertilizers are better than quick-release, and you should never spread fertilizer when there is a precipitation event coming in the next few days. If it rains right after you spread your fertilizer, it will get washed away and end up in your local waterways.
You just put your fertilizer on, for example, if you guys have a nice yard, you want to keep it green, I understand that. But you want to put your fertilizer on maybe in the winter or in the fall when there's not a ton of other nutrients coming in from other areas and when there's a little bit less rain. That reduces the amount that actually runs off your yard and gets put into the waterways.
Also, the easiest thing to do is help spread the word. Tell your friends and family about eutrophication and how they can help save Barnegat Bay too.